All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Marian E. King, and I just wanted to come on this afternoon. Marian E. King, some call me Auntie. I like to call myself an advocate or just Marian. And I just wanted to come on and talk to you all really quickly this afternoon about planning your way out of corporate America. I just want to tell you what I did and hopefully help some of you all find your way or help you understand and let you know that it's okay if you're not ready to move right this moment. Um, so, what I do, I am a independent dispatcher and more. I like to, some might call me a coach. I don't really, the titles are not too much. I just like to make sure that the people know what's going on. And if we need to do more and dig more, we can come to some type of agreement and converse about it. But again, today I just wanted to talk about planning your way out of corporate America. So I put a post up yesterday and I said, I talked about planning your way out. And I kind of gave a high-level overview of what I did to leave corporate America. So for those who know me, and those of you who are going to get to know me, I am very transparent. I don't sugarcoat. I don't keep a secret. I don't think that information should be a secret. Oh, I didn't do something right. Or maybe I did. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about it. So I lost my job. I was laid off in 2017. And with this is my second business. So I'm going to talk to you about what happened and how I learned and, the things. So I was laid off in 2017. I was on unemployment and I took that unemployment and I said, I'm going to start a business. Now, I didn't know anything about business or anything. I was just like sick of it. I'm so tired. They just laid me off and they didn't care nothing about it. The things, even though corporate America does not care. Anyway, so I started a business with my unemployment. I started a hair business. And the important thing about starting a business, especially when you have a spouse, is to make sure that you communicate some things. So I just said, I'm not going to work no more. This is the last time, I'm going to work a job. They tried me, the things. So my husband was not too happy about that, but he was just like, okay, he tried to talk to me, but I was just hell bent. I'm going to do this. So sales has not ever really been my thing, but I was just like, I'm gonna do this. This is what's popping. I'm gonna do it. So I started the hair business, and I had a friend of mine that was a hairstylist. So he was working, and he was like, you know what? Let's do this. And I talked to him about what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go and what I thought. And he was like, okay, let's go in a partnership. I wasn't really in position or ready to go in a partnership, but I was just like, okay, you know what? Let me try to make it do what it do. So we started that. It was not going well for me. It was going really well for him. We ended up getting a business, and I ended up just putting out more than I was getting back in. So I ended up going back to work. But when I went back to work, I said, you know what? I am going to start my own business, but this time I'm going to do it differently. This time I am going to plan my way out. So I told my husband, I said, okay, I'm done with the hair business situation. I have been in customer service for 20 something years, and I have, done a lot of things in there, created a lot of things. I was a trainer. I started from the ground up. So I literally was from on the phone, sales, all types of telemarketing, data entry type stuff. And then I moved up, the team lead, and then administrative assistant, administrative assistant, assistant manager, manager, trainer, recruiter, all of the things for over all of the years. So I created SOPs. I did quality assurance. I taught people how to speak properly and, on the phone and all of the things to other companies. And I just felt like all that time that I would always have to do that for them. But then I started, and when I was working there, I was like, I have a plan. So I told my husband, this is what I want to do. I want to get into transportation. I had been applying for years, but all the places that I was applying for were really name brand places, and they had been around for a long time. So they wanted somebody who knew the map like the back of their hand. And it just, every time I applied, I would just get, denied, which was fine. So I said, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make my own way. I just got to figure it out. I'm going to teach people, what I know. I'm going to teach people how to be of service. I'm going to teach people how to be, quality. I'm going to teach people, all of the things that I taught other people and other businesses took the credit for. So I said, this is what I want to do. So I laid it out to my husband. This is what I want to do. So he looked it over. I said, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. So when he looked it over, he was just like, this is more you. You know how to talk to people. You know how to teach people. You know how to tell people how to get people. You know how to align things as far as your service and your, kind of your business. So he was like, let me think about it. So like 2 weeks later, he came. This was still in 2017. Yeah. So he said, okay, I'm good with you doing this. However, how are you going to do it? Because, we tried the thing before when you got laid off. We went into debt. It was no good. This, I feel, is more for you. So what are we going to do to make it happen? So I told him, I let him know this is the plan. I'm going to, because, being in that years of service, I had some pretty nice paying jobs. So I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to plan my way out. I'm going to start from this nice paying position, and I'm going to work my way down. And when I get into a position where you are able to take care of everything and I can run my business, that's when I'll leave. Okay, all right. So he said he agreed. We worked on it. So at the job, I started taking lower positions. I was like, I'm going to drop down. So we looked at it. We was like, okay, when I go down to this amount, we still maintaining, we still doing good, whatever, however. Now, mind you, I'm coming down, but my husband is still on his job and he's going up. So I dropped down again. I'm still in the first year, because I'm telling you all now, sometimes your plan out is not going to be immediate. You really got to plan that thing. And I encourage people to make moves when they can make moves, when their household says that it's ready, when you say you're ready. Don't let anybody try to tell you that you can do it now or you're going to make it's a lie. Let me tell you, it is not the truth. There is still work to be done. And if you are not in position to be able to do that, it's going to be very challenging. I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm just saying that it's going to be challenging. So I said, so I did that. Then when I got to the lowest that I could get at that job, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to leave here because I need to, go in even, lower. So, all right, we go to a lower paying, a serious decrease. But all this time, I'm still maintaining with my husband. I'm still helping him pay bills. I'm just lowering the amounts that I pay as he increases on his job. So all of the drops that I did were contingent upon my husband getting raises at his job, because we got to get a position where he has to take care of this while I try to work my dream, work my plan, work what it is I want to do. So we drop it down. So then I'm low. I'm the lowest that I've been in a long time, but not the lowest. So I'm real low. I'm like, all right, how we looking? Now in the drops, I'm dropping contingent on his raises and what we doing. So the first couple of drops, we still going to the movies. I'm still getting my hair done. I'm still getting my nails done. I'm still maintaining too high. I'm not, doing exactly what I need to do, the things. But then I started getting more disciplined the more drops that happened. But mind you, I'm working on something. I want to do it. And I'm talking to you all and talking you through the process that I did, because I don't know what you're going to need to do. I'm just telling you what happened for me. And if need be, I can help you. We can get, have a conversation if you need, and we can help you with your situation on you coming out and getting how you need to be, according to your situation, your household, and what your spouse or you decide you want to do. So I came on down. So now I'm in the point where COVID is hit. We are maintaining. My husband is increasing, but I'm still handling, the light bill, the cable bill, and the car insurance. So okay, now COVID hit. I leave the job. I'm working from home. Now I say, okay, I'm gonna drive Uber Eats. I'm gonna do Shipt, and I'm gonna do DoorDash. So I'm maintaining, it's doing real good at that point because we the only ones out on the road. People got to stay home. But then it started getting, people had to wear masks all the time. March, April-ish, where it was like real bad. So my husband was like, we're not going to be doing that. So I got a job. I was working for Wayfair. This was the lowest paying job I had since I was a teenager. And I told my husband, this is it. This is it. Now, last year in March, the end of February, I took a brokering class. When I was in the brokering class, those 24 years of service let me know there was a whole lot wrong in that class, and there was a lot of unspoken. So I was not foolish enough to jump into that and get me a bond and all that, because there was a lot of unspoken. And those of you who know me, I talk about all of the things now, wherever anybody will listen to me. So I took that class February 28th, that weekend. The following week, which was like March 2nd or something like that, I took a dispatching course from that same class. Well, in the dispatching course, it was $99, and I really got what I paid for. They just told me how to set up a business and get a bank account and get an email and all of that. All of the things that I had already done because I had a business before. However, I will not completely count it out because it did give me some direction. Although it didn't give me all the information, some of the things that I had on there allowed me to go on Google, allowed me to pay for other courses, allowed me to go on YouTube, because I am an advocate of courses, because I believe that they don't, YouTube and stuff is good, but they don't tell you everything. And now that I'm into it, I've learned even more things that are not in other training classes and that are not on YouTube and that I just teach. And I thank God for them because he gave them to me to give to other people. However, so I'm working for Wayfair. I'm working for pennies, but I'm just like, oh my goodness, this it. So now I work for them for a couple of months. Now my husband has got in a position where he can completely take care of all of the bills. So now we do the last step. I say, okay, I'm ready to take on a carrier, because now I'm looking for a carrier. I'm looking into the things. This is where I also realized that I could not do, because when I was working for Wayfair, I was on the phone. So I realized when I took on my first carrier, which was a hot shot, right before I got my box truck, I took that hot shot on. I was working. My days off were Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm sorry, Monday and Tuesday, my bad. On Monday and Tuesday, I realized that I had to do a lot of calling to get in contact with brokers, and I had to do a lot of waiting for brokers to call me back. So I realized very quickly that trying to work a customer service job that required a phone and trying to work my business that required me to be available on the phone for my carrier and the broker was not going to work. So I had two load boards at the time. I had $250 load boards. I had $149 DAT board, and I had the $149 truck stop boards. So I had them for a couple of weeks. And then I said, okay, I'm making enough on this job to take care of my load boards, because that was me and my husband's agreement. As long as I could take care of everything I needed in my business, he could take care of the house and all of the bills. So when I realized that I was in position to pay for both of those boards, my cell phone, and the phone that I needed for them, I was like, hey, I called my husband on my lunch break. Now, y'all, this is 2.5, 3 years on the plan out, because I'm trying to show you that the planning your way out of corporate can be done, but it has to be done your way. Nobody can tell you can just stop, and it's just, your house, your life, your spouse. If you have that, your children, your situation. So I can teach you, talk to you, educate you, and tell you a whole lot of things, but what I will not do is tell you when. I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, you got to do it now. You can do it now. If you don't believe, you don't got the faith. Faith and foolishness don't go together. You can have faith, but don't be no fool. If your situation is not looking how it needs to look, only you need to know that. I don't need to know. That is not going to stop me from telling you what you need and letting you know. However, when you decide to move, it's going to be on you. So the moment I realized that I was able to take care of those things, I called my husband on my lunch break. It was like 1:00. I said, "Hey, honey, how you doing?" He was like, "I'm good." I said, "Look here, I make enough to take care of both of my little boys and my phone to be able to take care of my carriers. You said," because my husband was my first sale, because all in y'all business, we know that we are the salesperson, we are marketing team, we the pound pavement, we the street team, we the janitor, we everything. I said, I make enough money to take care of that, and I won't need you to help me with anything. He was like, "Okay, that was our agreement." I hung that phone up with that man, and I quit them people right there on the spot. But 2.5, almost 3 years later, I was ready. And we scaled down in our personal home. We understood that what I was going to be doing was going to be on me, but I made sure that we were in position to be taken care of when I decided to step into entrepreneurship full time. So I just wanted to come on here today and talk to you all about that post that I put and let you all know that it can be done. And also just try to see if there's anything, that I can do or say or show you to help you, or if you want to talk about your situations. My Instagram is connected to this, but I just want people to know that it can be done, and you have to find the way. Everything doesn't require a whole lot of money or everything. It's all about preparation. And what I learned from my first experience in jumping into entrepreneurship when I wasn't ready, and it wasn't really nothing that I was passionate about. I was just like, I'm not going to go back to them people's job and that's just going to be it, because ain't nobody going to try me like that no more. That was not the reality of my situation. So I learned that, and I applied that, and I know that is something that a lot of us as independent dispatchers, or not even independent dispatchers, those of us who want to be full-time entrepreneurs, and still have that 9 to 5, we have to figure out the way. We have to understand the way. But I will say this: if you are one that can keep your job and do this, let the job fund your dream. Let it fund what you needed to fund. I found the difficulty. If I would probably be gone by now. However, if I was working a job or a career that I did not have to use the phone, I would have stayed a while longer, to be able to help fund some things. But it's working. It worked out. I've learned so much. In time, I've learned about people. I've learned about the industry. I've learned about things, and I choose to keep pushing. I choose to move forward because I had some things, and just be real. There's going to be some things that knock you down. Last month, I had something that knocked me completely down the whole month. For those who know me and those who don't, I had a group on Facebook. It had almost 800 people. I had been, being valuable and giving valuable for like 6 months. I had a whole lot of information that I had posted, and somebody took all the information and wrote a book. Well, my bad. It knocked me down, but I had to understand and realize. And then I repositioned some things, and I realized even further that the support that I thought I had, I do not have. So I am one that likes to talk about the reality of things, the reality of entrepreneurship, no matter where you are in it. I am currently in the transportation industry, so that's where I will come on here and talk, but I have, plans to talk about just things in general. But my focus today was to talk to you all about planning your way out of corporate America. If you need a cushion, then see how much of a cushion you need. If you need to get your house in order, take the steps. Communicate with whomever you need to communicate and make your exit. Write it down. Write the vision. Make it plain. It is written. Whatever it is that you need to do. When that thought becomes a thought, you write it down. You look at that thing. You date that thing, and you move forward on it. All right. That's all I have. I don't want to take up too much more of anybody's time. I'm not quite sure how to use this, and I don't know if anybody has questions, how I would see it. But I appreciate y'all and your time. Anybody got any questions on Clubhouse or something to say? I'm open to that as well. Oh, there's a hand. I just tap. Oh, there we go. Hello, Kendra. I'm well, and yourself? Okay. Okay, so this is what I say to carriers that come to me and want to get started. Um, Make sure that that is something that, well, you said y'all had the discussion, so that is something that they are willing to do. Um, Let me say this really quick. I'm glad you asked about the box truck. So I wrote a book. It's called Marian and the Box Truck, and it is about how I was able to make almost $21,000 for a non-CDL new MC number box truck, and I was new at the time as well. So what I had the conversation with them about, because they did come to me before they purchased it, is to make sure that it's something that you want to do, have an understanding between owner operators and carriers that being new, especially with a non-CDL, is going to be challenging, and also make sure that you are in position to be able to take care of whatever you were taking care of before you make this purchase, because it is challenging in that it can be challenging in that first 90 days to consistently keep that the wheels rolling. And it also depends on what your carrier is going to want to do. The only reason I was able to to be instrumental in helping them make that in less than 60 days, I think it was like 45 days, is because when I interviewed them, I had an extensive interview with them. I didn't just let them interview me. I said, hey, this is what I can do. This is what we're going to do. This is what you need to be able and willing to do. And are you in position to take care of your things that you had before getting this truck? So my carriers, and this is something you can talk, y'all can talk about. They were willing to do anything. They weren't, they were willing to go over the road. They were not just ones that only wanted no touch freight. They would do anything, which works out for me because I took all of those customer service years where you have to, be really creative and find things. So I would be out here, doing all kinds of things, except for selling tail, to make sure that they move. So if you're going to be orchestrating that, make sure that they understand what it is that they want to do, and make sure that they're ready to the fully commit. Because I, was out here when I would be out on my days off, or they would be moving. I would go around to furniture stores and all types of places and say, hey, where do you have this? Where are you just local? Are you mom and pop? Where are all the places that you have? So I say that it is a good idea, but there is a level of commitment and understanding that has to be there. And things may go well, but be prepared for if they don't. So just have the cushion. Make sure he's committed to that, and you all think about where you want to take that. Is it something that you just want to do now because he doesn't want to go back to school? Is it something that you all want to get a fleet? And is it something that someone eventually wants to get their CDL and take it to the next level? Kind of sit and really figure out what you want to do with this, and make sure that it's not something that you all are doing in the meantime. Like, where do you want to take this? Hmm. It depends on who's, what it is that you want to do. So this is these are just my thoughts, you all, from knowing what I know. I decided to become an independent dispatcher first because going to that freight broker class first showed me a lot. There was a lot of, things that I realized on my own is being a freight broker. You do want to have some type of established relationship with carriers to bring into, when you move up to that step. Because when you talk to a broker as a freight broker, you need to have something to present to him or her, to them. Like what is appealing to them? What makes you attractive to a shipper to even work with you? You want to be able to say, hey, I got 30 trucks or 100 trucks. There's something that has to be appealing to them. I say a dispatcher first because you establish those relationships. You know how a broker, relationship goes with a broker. You know how a carrier moves. There's just some things that you need, in my opinion, to be familiar with before making that step. Because people don't, they say it that a freight broker makes more money, and all of that is fine. However, when you got that 75K bond and you don't have, any means to pay it, you still got that bill. Whereas an independent dispatcher, you just got your computers, your two screens or whatever you choose to have. You got your phone, and you are developing these relationships. You're contacting carriers, and I just in my mind, I feel like that's the way to go, because now when you decide to move up and become a broker, you have something to offer to a shipper. You also have something to offer to your carriers, and it stays like in your favor. Because if I'm a dispatcher, right, and I got my dispatching business, and we just go high level overview and make it sound cute. I have my business. I got 50 trucks. I got these dispatchers we run. We got 5 each. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna stop dispatching company. I'm about to become a broker. Now we got 50 drivers, 50 trucks, 50 drivers. We all go one by one. 30 other drivers are excellent. They're always on point. We don't have no problems. Well, guess what I'm going to do? When I become a broker, I'm going to say, hey, Tom, Dick, Harry, Joe, Bob, I am now a broker. We're going to cut this percentage out, and we're going to go directly here because, you're going to take your percentage from where you be a broker from, directly from the shipper. But the other 20, they're good, but they're so-so. You leave them on the dispatcher, and you keep them at the percentage because they're good for what you need, and they are available. So when you present to the shipper, you can say that I got 50 trucks. However, you have that appeal, and you are able to do more. So I, again, think that becoming a dispatcher first, you don't have to stay that way forever, but just to get some familiarity and get some contacts and connects under your belt before you commit to the expenses that come along with being a broker, and all of the things. Now, freight agency is fine as well. I know about, this is the thing about me too. I speak and operate from experience and application. So I will speak towards a freight agent. I know that they work under a broker. Now, if you wanted to get into that, you want to get with a broker and see how that goes and operate through the broker and operate, do what you need to do and learn through that way. That's an avenue as well. But if you are looking for low cost effective, which is me, I'm here for that. I will go with the dispatching area first and then work my way up because I've made contact, I've got familiarity, and then move forward from there. You're welcome. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank y'all so much for your time, and I'll be back on later in the week with another subject. But if you all want to, think of anything later, my Instagram is connected, and I'm on Facebook. The same. I don't really know how to do all of those shout outs and stuff, but thank y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all another time.